Good day, I'm Jabertha Atkinson, and this is your GIS News for Thursday, April 10, 2025. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness is praising the downward trend in major crimes, which he says reflects significant progress being made in the twofold approach to fighting against crime and violence. This involves dealing with the aggressiveness being witnessed in the society from a public health standpoint and cracking down on organized crime, where gangs are responsible for nearly 70% of murders in the country.
We are being very tough on the gangs. We have put in place anti-gang legislation. We are prosecuting gangs under the legislation. We intend to bring new legislation to be more proactive in preventing gangs from forming. And the police has been very robust and kinetic in their operations these days.
Dr. Holness was addressing members of the diaspora during a recent town hall meeting in Miami in the United States. The latest figures for the first quarter of this year show an 18.3% decline in major crimes, 35.9% reduction in murders, and 26% fewer shootings. Jamaica is not immediately affected by the ongoing tariff struggle between the world's two largest economies, the United States and China, but remains aware and nimble in navigating the changing circumstances. That's the word from the Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Senator Aubin Hill. He was responding to questions during yesterday's post-cabinet press briefing at Jamaica House. President Donald Trump recently declared a 10% baseline tariff on nearly all imports entering the U.S., including from Jamaica, and reciprocal tariffs on various countries. On Wednesday, he announced a 90-day pause on the policy for more than 75 trading partners except China, which will see a 125% hike on levies on products entering the U.S. Minister Hill says that while Jamaica is not the target of either the economic powerhouses, we have to be strategic in maneuvering through this uncertain time while keeping the welfare of Jamaicans at the forefront.
For every obstacle, there are 15 to 20 opportunities that come with it. Let's find them and make sure they work for us.
Under the existing Caribbean Basin Initiative, CBI, goods from Jamaica and most countries in the region enter the U.S. under preferential arrangements. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade is reviewing the necessary documentation to ascertain whether the CBI will still apply or all Jamaican goods are now to be subject to the 10% tariff announced for the island.
And if that happens, we then have to say who else is in the 10% category, because the lowest one. And any of those in that 10% category, do they sell the stuff that we sell to the United States? Some may, but they may actually be located in Africa or Asia. We then have clearly a competitive advantage from location, the geographic location. And we then must find the ways, which is what we as Jamaicans have done in the past 10 years.
The government is taking urgent steps to revamp the demonstration plate system amid growing concerns about its misuse and links to criminal activity. Demonstration plates are to be used strictly within automobile trade for purposes such as transporting vehicles from the port, test driving vehicles for sale, or moving them for repairs or registration in accordance with the road traffic regulations. Transport Minister Darrell Vaz says the issue of their misuse is exacerbated by the police's inability to trace the plates using their smart check system, as well as the lack of an accurate count from Tax Administration Jamaica on how many plates are currently in circulation. As a result, he says legislative amendments will be required to overhaul the system and support a more secure, transparent, and accountable demonstration plate regime.
In light of the above observations, the government will embark on a total revamp of the current system and replace it with a web-based demonstrated permit system. Dealers are able to access demonstration plates as required, and the authorities are better able to enforce and monitor compliance with little resources. For the design and implementation of the management system, a total recall of existing plates, which a deadline will be issued, submission of the legislative changes, and of course, finalize new fee structure.
Minister Vaz was speaking at Wednesday's post-cabinet press briefing. He says the new digital system is expected to cost $10 million. Still on transport matters, the government is moving apace to implement major changes to the Certificate of Fitness program. As announced by the Prime Minister during his budget presentation in March, motorists will soon be able to license their vehicle for up to 2 years, an increase from the current 6 months for commercial vehicles and up to 2 years for private vehicles. Transport Minister Darrell Vaz says the policy shift will be technology-driven and is set for implementation by July.
The team is working on a technology solution to integrate the fitness and registration systems, enabling the Jamaica Constabulary Force to access all necessary vehicle information via the license plate. This will require amendments to the road traffic regulations to give effect to these changes. The projected implementation time for this is within the next 2 to 3 months. Between June and July is what I have mandated. So the days of the stickers on your car and the paper certificate of fitness and all that goes with it are a thing of the past.
The government is also addressing delays at examination depots for driver's licenses to ease congestion and cut through the bureaucracy currently affecting the process.
You go to the depot, and depending on what methodology you wish to use, is how fast you get through. Whether you wait months or whether you wait a few minutes or a few hours, all depending on who you see and who you talk to. We're going to move away from that, where you make your appointment online, and only those people that have appointments on that particular day and that particular time will be allowed to go into the depot for that particular exam.
The long-anticipated National School Nutrition Policy has received cabinet approval and is now on track to become law, according to Education Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon. Developed in partnership with the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the policy outlines a structured approach to delivering proper nutrition and promoting overall wellness within schools. Speaking at Wednesday's post-cabinet press briefing, Dr. Morris-Dixon highlighted the transformative potential of the policy once enacted.
This policy has been in train for a long time, and I'm so very happy, and congratulations, PS, that we're finally at this point where we can bring to Jamaica the National School Nutrition Policy, which will change the way our children get their meals in schools and the entire apparatus around school nutrition.
And finally, a month-long initiative aimed at raising awareness and appreciation for the vital role farmers play in national development has been launched. The Thank a Farmer campaign is an initiative of the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining and the Jamaica Agriculture Society JAS. It was unveiled during the recent launch of Farmers Month. During yesterday's post-cabinet press briefing, Portfolio Minister Floyd Green said the campaign would both honor the nation's farmers and encourage broader discussions around food security and agriculture's impact on Jamaica's future.
This year's observance centralizes all activities and messaging across the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining and its various agencies.
The campaign, which is being rolled out with the support of RADA, includes a series of island-wide events. These began with a church service in Mandeville and will continue with the inaugural Manchester Food Festival on April 13, as well as the Montpelier and St. Mary agricultural shows on April 21. Other highlights include a farmers market at the ministry's Kingston Playfield on April 25 and the grand finale of the Thank a Farmer Wellness Fair, dubbed A Day with the Minister, at Hope Gardens on April 29. The public is encouraged to support and participate in the activities honoring our farmers. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Jabertha Atkinson. Thanks for watching.